Hello and welcome back to the Cyberlord YouTube channel. Today's review is the Doctor Who story review. It's Doctor Who The Awakening. So another story review on the channel, another DVD review, however you'd like to put it. As I mentioned, it's The Awakening today, which was broadcast in 1984. Stars Peter Davison as the 5th Doctor, and it's one of the last episodes in... Not one of the last, but getting close to the last in his final series as the Doctor before he regenerates into Colin Baker. So what we'll do is we'll give our usual sort of overview of the story. I'll tell you sort of what happened in it. I'll tell you if I enjoyed it, and finally if I recommend it to you. And first of all, I'll get on with the plot. And pretty much the Doctor is sort of told by Tegan that she wants to go and visit her grandfather, who I believe they were supposed to go to 1984 or something. Yeah, it would have been back to normal time, and they do go to 1984 until they realise that pretty much everyone is pretending that it's the 1600s and that they're playing sort of different war games, and that's where a few of these characters come in, which we can see on the front cover. Now, in particular, this one is quite important, that one is very important, and this one is quite important as well. So, firstly, this is a young sort of Irish lad, I think he is, and he is really thinking that it is 1600s, he's jumping around the place, he's in war, he's in battles, and he takes it very seriously. I suppose this woman here is quite important as well, because she doesn't like what they're doing because it's hurting people, it's harming people, so she tries to get a stop to it. And this is the guy that's sort of making it all happen, organising all these events, and obviously that's the Doctor. So the awakening is really an awakening of a creature, of a species, and it's of that thing in the top right there, which we'll take a better look at. And this actually isn't a real thing, really. It's I think it's supposed to be some form of illustration or some form of forward way of thinking of the devil. And because it's symbolised as that in a piece of art before this thing actually comes out of the wall. And it's sort of summoning holographic images that aren't actually real, but people think they're real, and they think they're going to get killed by them, so on. So of course, that's a really interesting bit about it. We'll give a look to the back of the box as well. So it's by Eric Pringle, who he's written quite a few Doctor Who stories. Personally, I'd say he's not one of my favourite writers, because I've got to be honest, this isn't one of my favourite stories in particular. But if you want to read that, pause the video and give it a good read. It's sort of a better worded explanation of what the story's about than what I give you, and it's a lot shorter. Special features, and as I say, published between the 19th and the 20th of January 1984. It is a two-part, so 50 minutes I would expect. Yeah, 50 minutes. I do like two-parters, but there hasn't been too many brilliant ones. Black Orchid is incredible. It's one of the best stories of the 80s era. Well, it's definitely the Peter Davison era. The Rescue was good as well with William Hartnell, but of course I will do future reviews of them and tell you what I think properly. Yeah, so what I would say is that it's one of those stories that it's originally expected to be a historical story, but it's not really. It's more of the alien type. I suppose the actors are acting to act as people who are acting to be other people from past generations and from different times, which I don't like too much. So I would say for a two-parter, it's okay to watch, but I've got to be honest, if it was a bit longer, 3 or 4, if it was, your casual 80s 4-parter, you would be bored out of your life, or at least I would, because it's good as it can get it sometimes. It's an interesting story, not the greatest. I still recommend it though, because I like a lot of Doctor Who stories, and this is one that I'm thinking I like it, it's just not as good as maybe it should be. But all I'm saying is, if you're going to be watching the Peter Davison era, you're going to have to come across this at one point. It's just a two-parter, so it's a nice, easy one to get your way through. And you could easily find it as more interesting as I do. I just don't think it's my cup of tea, although I still think it's an interesting story, and I think if I go ahead to watch it again, because let's be honest, even though I'm saying it's not very good, I'm going to watch it again. Then maybe I could change my mind, because I did that about a certain story, which I'll not bother telling you about, because I'll tell you about that in the review that I do in the future of that story. But yeah, it's a good story in its own way, but not my cup of tea. But that will be it for today's review, guys. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe to the Cyberlord YouTube channel. It would be greatly appreciated if you could do so. If you'd also like to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Cyberlord. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, I'll see you in the next one.